hardy mini GP riders are on the grid now. Just for Louis Webster, you've got plenty of time to get some waffles because the CRF race is a bit later on in the program. We've got the 160s and the pit bike better to go first, so the CRF race is a little bit later in the program. They were absolutely hauling around here earlier on. Actually, the CRF 150s with the 85, sorry, for good measure. We go back though to Mini GP. Outlaw, the series coordinator, is on the line with the green flag. We're about to get things underway, and race number 1 is go. Chloe Jones with a great getaway into the first corner. But we've got problems because Chloe Jones' machine has dropped some oil on the track. We need to, I think Matt is going to let Alan Lord know. But there was a bit of an uproar in the race control here. Chloe Jones gets away at the front. We've just seen on the line a huge pool of oil has been dropped by the lead of Chloe Jones' machine. We're going to watch these following riders. So I think they're going to have to pull Chloe Jones to one side. But they make their way around. Everyone seems to be getting around safely. Chloe Jones leads the way, but concerns at the moment about that bike. It's dropping oil, and in these conditions, well, I think they're on it now. They might need to stop the race, actually, because there's been a lot of oil dropped from the machine of Chloe Jones. So the red flag has come out. Nobody's actually crashed at the moment, but in the interest of safety, a lot of oil was dropped by Chloe Jones. We'll see Matt Pierce down there, my co-commentator. He's down there just organising the riders. And they are on the scene at the moment. So just to explain the situation, Chloe Jones' machine has dropped quite a lot of oil on the start line. And making some checks on the machine now. You'll see them down there just checking that machine because it is dropping a degree of oil. So whether Chloe Jones will be permitted to go back out into the race, we'll wait and see. She looks a bit dejected on the line. She knows that she can't continue. And Chloe Jones, what a shame. She's been in such great form this year, and she looks dejected. So the grid is now being cleared for the restart of Mini GP, minus Chloe Jones, of course. The flag is about to drop, and away they go. Ryan Frost gets another great jump at the start. Tries to go for the lead, but Jack Worth looks like he holds on.
Cracking start by Jack.
So Jack Worth holds on to the lead as they go through the first chicane. Ryan Frost in second position from Rossi Brown. Mason Johnson, Taylor Rose running up the field. Chloe Jones, of course, going back to the paddock area. So depleted Mini GP field, of course. Only 5 riders taking part. But Jack Worth, he's really charging away at the front.
Yeah, he's flying. Yeah, absolutely flying. Jack's not been one of our front runners of late, and he's definitely found some pace in the wet this weekend. He's going to turn on to wet weather specialist.
This, of course, is the other thing with wet weather riding. Some riders naturally seem to progress very well to the wet conditions, and we might see a few upsets today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it levels the field. You know, it's obviously a lot of these bikes are all stock as it is, but the wet conditions really does level the field, and it's all about the confidence as you and as rider, how well you set up your suspension, if you soften it up. You know, I'm lazy, I don't touch it. But a lot of the riders will have a tweak of the forks and tweak of the shot, try and soften it up, make it a bit more compliant in these wet weather conditions. And it just shows that Jack's definitely got some confidence in the wet. He's not hanging about going through that chicane.
Jack Worth is absolutely charging through on the first lap, pulling away from Ryan Frost. The gap already 5 seconds on that first lap. And Worth all on his own at the front. Ryan Frost still charging away in second place. The one who you might say with Chloe Jones absent would be the favourite to win, but certainly Jack Worth has got other ideas here. It's Rossi Brown in third place, Mason Johnson in fourth, and Taylor Rose a little bit further down, rounding up the top 5. Jack Worth making his way now to the very top of the circuit down the straight and really carrying some pace at the start of this first race.
Well, I know that Ryan had a really, really big crash yesterday. Coming out of the final corner, so I don't know whether that's hampered his confidence a little bit today, but it just doesn't seem as easy on the bike today. I don't know why.
So Ryan Frost dropping off somewhat. He had a great start. He really battled into that first corner to try and get underneath Jack Worth, but Worth did just about enough to hold on to the pace and leads round the final corner, gets back on the power, charges through to complete the lap. The race has been shortened slightly, of course, because we are running a little bit behind schedule, of course, to make sure we get all the racing in. The racing is a little bit shorter. The rain has abated, so it'll be interesting to see as the afternoon goes on, we get more bikes on the track, whether they will get a dry line out there. But it has to be said, Jack Worth really charging away. Rossi Brown only just coming through in third place from Mason Johnson.
What do you think, Tayo?
I think it's pretty good. I think Jack Worth's getting better and better every time as he goes on his motorbike.
How have you found the wet conditions today?
Not very good because my bike's spluttering and coughing, so it's not very great. And also, I can't ride anymore.
You can't ride it anymore?
No, because it's spluttering and coughing, so it won't go anywhere every time I turn a corner.
Is that because of getting water in the carburettor?
I think so. Next time I'm in the electrics.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. Never mind. You had a good day yesterday though. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was fun, and also the go-karts was hilarious as well.
Did you ever go to the go-karts? Was it on Friday or Saturday?
Both days.
Both days. Gonna gave you a bit of a treat then, did he?
Yeah.
So 3 laps to go in this mini GP race. How many laps are they actually running, Matt?
8.
It's an 8-lap race, so it has been shortened slightly from the normal format. That looks very much like Ryan Frost in second place, albeit it's gone down to 14.3 seconds on the previous lap. Ryan Frost all on his own in that second position. Rossi Brown is still in third. He just gone charging through past the finish line with Mason Johnson and Taylor Rose running out the field.
Taylor seems to be struggling. Just watching him coming down that back session down the hill, he's stepped right up, and he seems to be going right in qualifying. But it looks like he's definitely got some sort of issue. Pit bikes don't like the wet.
Taylor Rose is about to be lapped by the race leader, Jack Worth, who's coming up towards the final corner now. Ryan Frost, there we see the man in the shot at the moment. He is a distant second place at the moment as Jack Worth comes round the final corner. Ryan Frost dropping all the time on Jack Worth, who really is charging away with 2 laps to go. He's just got to keep it pointing straight at the moment, stay out of trouble in these treacherous conditions.
I think there's going to be an interesting race in the 160s coming up in a couple of minutes. You've got Alan Carter, who's really motoring on forward in these wet conditions. You've got Matt Bolsover, I think he qualified out on pole. There's quite a decent video of Matt going around in the wet on slicks around Rowrah, and actually just riding the rings around people, as Matt does. So I think the 160 is going to be a good race. You know, Patrick O'Connor, he was up in third place with a lot of qualifying, dropped down to 6th.
Here we see Rossi Brown in third position, who's just under 40 seconds adrift of the race leader. So Brown on for some good championship points so far. The other thing, of course, as well, Matt, is as Brown goes through into the hairpin section, no rain at the moment. So when we get some more of the pit bikes out there, of course, more powerful machinery, we could be seeing the racing line start to change. So dry line out there, possibly.
I don't think so.
Still a bit too wet.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I hope that isn't the case. Because tyre selection really does become an issue. Then, as I said before, once you start to get in a dry line, these wet tyres really do overheat. I mean, if you get a set of these POT wets and give the tread a bit of wiggle, it's like a sponge. And so you've got the PMTRs, which are like an intermediate slick almost, which you can use in cold and damp conditions. But I'm hoping that it stays relatively wet and doesn't go into those in-betweeny.
At the moment, certainly a very wet track, and Jack Worth, the rider in shot, that sky blue machine, making his way back towards us on the final lap of the race, and he's looking in great form.
He's done really well there. He's confident on the gas. He's confident coming to the corners. He's saying coming into his final right hander. He's not. Yeah, he's really still pushing on, and he's confident on the braking as well. That was a good race by Jack.
Fantastic race when he goes round the outside of Mason Johnson and takes the checkered flag for the first race of the day. Race winner for Jack Worth by quite some distance.
So yeah, in these conditions, I know obviously we've got a very much depleted mini GP grid for the racing. We had quite a few more out yesterday, but it's and obviously the weather's caused a few casualties, but it shows that going out in these conditions, Jack has obviously shown that he's learning and he's developing and he's getting that experience. And now the next time he goes out and it's wet, he's going to have so much more confidence.
So great ride there for Jack Worth, really taking these difficult conditions in his stride, take the first race win of the day. Ryan Frost brings it home in second place. Rossi Brown will come around the final corner to finish third. There he is, Rossi Brown, your third place finisher. He will get some very good championship points. And of course, great experience for the riders to be able to cope with these difficult conditions. Terrible shame there for Chloe Jones, whose bike was dropping oil on the start line, so she was unable to start the race. Hopefully, we will see her again in that second race a bit later on this afternoon. But congratulations to Jack Worth. So hopefully that is just the case. So it doesn't look like any sort of a oil issue there as Chloe Jones gets underway in second place, but Jack Worth around the outside grabs the lead, and Worth, your race leader, Chloe Jones in second. It looks like Ryan Frost in third. They make their way through to hairpin. Looks like everyone has got through safely as things start to brighten up a bit now. Jack Worth and your race leader, Chloe Jones and Ryan Frost, they've all got away well. We just going to see if anybody has gone down on those first two corners, but no, they haven't. They've all got through safely. And Chloe Jones then is your race leader. Down the inside she goes, oh, but Ryan Frost and Jack Worth fighting back. Worth around the outside and retakes the lead. Jack Worth goes back into the lead. Chloe Jones now drops to second as they both pull away slightly from Ryan Frost in third. Coming up towards the final corner. And Jack Worth, your race leader, holds the inside line. Chloe Jones is right on his tail in second place. They go charging through past the finish line. Ryan Frost in third place, pulling away from the rest of the field. Rossi Brown, who finished that strong third in the first race, he goes through in third place. Oh, but it's still as close as ever, that battle for first place. Chloe Jones is starting to take the fight back to Jack Worth, and she looks very strong, especially on this first half of the lap. Jack Worth now pulling away slightly to go into the back straight.
So I had to run out then and miss the first couple of laps. Look at Jack, he's away, he's right in front. Hopefully he's getting some signals that he's already gapped Chloe a little bit and could just not slow down, but just relax a little bit and try and manage the race.
Well, Chloe Jones taking the fight to Jack Worth early on. However, looks like Worth is starting to pull away on this second lap.
I know that Chloe's got quite a decent that's one of the metrics down.
It's possibly Mason
That
Johnson.
is Mason Johnson, yeah.
So Mason Johnson in trouble in sixth place. Chloe Jones starts to close up again in these final few corners on Jack Worth, and it seems that Chloe Jones is very quick on this second part of the lap. She's right on the rear wheel again of Jack Worth. And actually Chloe Jones with the fastest lap of the race, 107.9. Closing up again there, we see, looks like Ryan Frost in third place. So
the GP0.
Frost dropping back a bit now in third from the battle for the lead. And there we see Ryan Frost, your third place man. It's still Rossi Brown in fourth place. Taylor Rose moves up to fifth place with Mason Johnson trying to get back into the action on the final corner. But here we see Ryan Frost looking strong in that third place, albeit quite a way down from Jack Worth and Chloe Jones, who are around the back of the circuit. And Jones starting to close up again on Worth, but can't find a way through at the moment. Jack Worth running strongly at the front.
We know that Chloe's got a good fan base on social media, so if you're watching, please leave a comment on the stream and let her know your words of encouragement.
Chloe Jones seems very quick on this final part of the lap, and again closing up on Jack Worth. Worth pulling away in the hairpins around the back of the circuit, but as we approach the finish line, Jones is back up on there again, right on the tail of Jack Worth. Takes the speed into the first corner, but Worth has it under control, exiting that little S's at the start of the lap.
She just seems to be more confident in the faster corners, where Jack in the slower, more technical sections, he just seems to pull away give that gap a little bit.
Ryan Frost goes through in third with Rossi Brown still in fourth. Taylor Rose a bit further behind in fifth place. And it looks like, I'm just going to see if Mason Johnson's gone back out there. We can see that Taylor Rose still circulating in fifth place.
Yeah, Mason's out. He's just coming down the hill at the moment. The front runners will be catching up with him, but it looks like the bike is definitely not running as it should be.
So Mason Johnson at the moment in sixth place. There he is, last on the field. Oh, as Chloe Jones closed right up now on Jack Worth. Worth, I think, knows that Jones is there. Guards that inside line. Chloe Jones trying for the tighter apex, leaving the corner. Oh, and what a great move there from Chloe Jones. Hit the bike nice and tight on the apex, got the drive, and what a great move there from Chloe Jones to go into the lead. Now let's see if Jack Worth can fight back. 105.2 last time round, incidentally, for Chloe Jones. Fastest lap of the race. And they are picking up the pace, these two front runners. Jack Worth fights back around the outside. It's a drag under braking, but Chloe Jones has got the line.
He's going to be so careful doing that because you don't run him wide and lose the front end.
So Jack Worth fighting back down the back straight now. Chloe Jones trying to guard the inside. Oh, but Worth goes down the inside.
Down the outside.
Chloe Jones gets the line. Oh, and Chloe Jones having an onslaught here from Jack Worth. They come through into the chicane. They've got
3 laps to
Taylor
go.
Rose. 3 laps left.
2 laps to go after this one.
So Taylor Rose lets the 2 leaders through. Chloe Jones leads, but Jack Worth is not giving up in second place. This is where Jones took the lead last time. She looks very quick out to that final corner.
Jack got a better exit out of that final right-hander though. But this is where Jack can really close up and Chloe onto the brakes.
And here we see a replay of how close things got here. Jack Worth and Chloe Jones fighting bar to bar, and Chloe Jones there not rolling down there and letting it go.
It's right at her rear wheel again.
Whether the track's drying out or what here, but the lap times really are tumbling with these first 2 riders. Chloe Jones and Jack Worth both lapping in the 103s. They really are pulling away from Ryan Frost in 3rd place. As down the straight they go, and again, Jack Worth, I think that looks like one of his best places to make a move there on the far end of that straight.
It wasn't close enough on that lap. Maybe just trying to should have kept on the racing line. Has another look down the inside. He's going to struggle to get down there. But Chloe's definitely quicker on these final few corners.
Mason Johnson back into the pits. Looks like he's out of the race as Ryan Frost in 3rd, Jack Worth in 2nd. Chloe Jones gets on the power, going out to the final corner. Jack Worth a bit disappointed with himself there. Didn't quite get the traction, but starts to close back up again on Chloe Jones. 1 lap to go in the 2nd Mini GP race of the day. Into the hairpins they go, and Worth looks a lot more aggressive under braking on Chloe Jones, though.
Chloe had a big moment coming out that right.
Oh, and this is the moment. This is the moment that Jack Worth needs. He goes down the inside of Chloe Jones. Now, can he make the pass stick? Down the back straight they go, and Jack Worth guarding that inside line. Chloe Jones losing ground in 2nd position. Closing back up under braking. Let's see what Chloe Jones can do. This is the part of the lap now that Chloe Jones tends to be quicker.
He goes defensive on that right hand. He needs to guard that inside line because Chloe's going to come through.
Jack,
it needs to be defensive going to this final right hand corner.
Here we go then. 1 more corner to go. Jack Worth takes the inside line. Chloe Jones is going to try and slingshot to the finish. It's going to be close. Oh, but Jack Worth holds on to take the victory by 0.2 of a second.
What a brilliant race there. That was an absolutely fantastic race by Jack.
And those 2 riders really pushing each other on in the closing stages. They went down to the 102s on that final lap. Jack Worth with the fastest lap of the race, 102.040. So closing up on the minute mark, they were absolutely flying through in those wet conditions.
And you saw in that last corner, Jack went really defensive into that right-hander, and Chloe tried to take that nice wide outside line to get that slingshot and a better drive out the final corner.
Ryan Frost goes through in 3rd position. Rossi Brown will be in 4th, and Rossi Brown now coming through. There is Taylor Rose, number 27, who finishes in 5th place. Rossi Brown just coming around the final corner now. But what a great battle to the end there from Jack Worth and Chloe Jones. Looked like Jones had the win in the bag possibly, but certainly Jack Worth refused to quit, and